million conspiracy theorists saying don't take the vaccine. Vaccines cause autism, or vaccines will, or when it comes to the coronavirus vaccine, vaccines will kill you. The vaccine will kill you. No, you know what'll kill you? It's polio. Smallpox will kill you, and the coronavirus. There actually is a new study out about the coronavirus, which I will get to right after this. Don't go away.
Now, without further ado, the man we've all been waiting for, TJD. Welcome back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. Okay, before we went to that short break, I was talking about a new study. That's what I was talking about concerning COVID. Now, I know a lot of you will not agree to this, but there's been a new study done, and this has been reported in the news, that there's even more deaths from COVID that had originally been reported. Now, I've had a lot of people telling me that the COVID deaths were exaggerated. There's a lot of people saying, there's not 580,000 people who have died in a year from COVID. Well, this new study says that there's 900,000 people who have died from COVID and not 580,000. So this new study, I don't know where this new study came from, but it was in the news that there's a new study. And I just get the main tidbits out of the news and talk about it. You know what I'm saying? But this was one because so many people and conspiracy theorists that I have argued with and disagreed with, because I'm not a conspiracy theorist. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in anything that's just nonsense and not true. I don't believe in Santa Claus or the Tooth Fairy or the Boogeyman, and the earth is round. Okay, so if you tell me something that's nonsensical and you can't prove it, I don't care how smart you are, because if you're not 100% sane, your chances are you're saying something that's completely ridiculous and nonsensical, and I'm probably not going to believe it. So I just wanted to put that out there about this new study. You know, like I said, I don't know where it came from. I just seen it in the news that actually over 900,000 people have died here in the U.S. just in the last year, not 580,000 like officially had been reported died from COVID, but now they're saying over 900,000 people have actually died from COVID. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but this is what's been reported. And I like to say, coupled with that, or maybe it's unrelated to you, but actually, mental illness is completely, in a lot of people, completely undiagnosed. And why I'm saying mental illness is completely undiagnosed is because there's a lot of people who are mentally ill, and they've not, they will not see a doctor about it, and they just go on through life causing problems and wreaking havoc. You know what I'm saying? So we got, I think when you're starting to lose sanity, that goes in the category of mental illness. So mental illness is totally undiagnosed for a lot of people in this country. Now, moving on, there is a billionaire. This guy's name is Jamie Dimon. Um, There's a billionaire who says that he wants a government to account for all the tax money that they spend. Now, he's a banker, like a CEO of a Wall Street bank. I forget which bank it was. I don't want to say the name of a bank and be wrong about it. Like one of the big banks. This guy's like the CEO, Jamie Dimon. You can, Google him, find out that, he's a big banker. But anyway, he wants the government to account for all the tax dollars that they spend, which leave it to the arrogance, actually. And I would tend to, before I say leave it to the arrogance of a billionaire to say something like this, I would usually tend to agree with that notion that the government should account for all the tax dollars that they spend. But this is one guy, one dude who is just arrogant enough to think that the government should have to answer to him. You know what I'm saying? So he pays probably as little as taxes as he possibly can. And now he wants the government to tell him everything that they're spending money on. And mind you, the government does like to waste money. Our tax dollars, the government wastes it stupidly sometimes. The government does a lot of things that are stupid, like giving money away to billionaires and major corporations. That is something that the government has done, is giving a lot of money away to billionaires and major corporations. So if this Jamie Dimon, who is a billionaire and a CEO of a major Wall Street bank, which, like I said, I can't remember which bank that he's the CEO of, but if he's a billionaire, it's probably a huge one. But anyway, he's demanding, or not demanding, he's suggesting that the government accounts for all the tax dollars that they spend. which is funny to me because the government's not going to do that for you. They're not going to do it. They're definitely not going to do it for me. But they're not going to do that for even a billionaire because they don't care. They probably could do it if they wanted to, keep track of all the tax dollars and then let everybody know exactly how they spend it. But they're not going to do that, even for a billionaire. So they're not going, because as far as they're concerned, they don't care what you think. Okay, they're not going to let you know how they spend all the money because the government does spend a lot of money stupidly, and one of those things was the bailout that they've given these billionaires and major corporations all this money in bailouts. That was stupid and unnecessary. And I know people say that, usually right wingers say that, you give all this money away to, and tax breaks to, rich people and major corporations. And then, that helps the economy. But no, it doesn't. These guys, they don't use that money to invest in the business. They don't put that money back into the business. They don't hire anybody else because the government gives that money away. They just keep the money. They pocket the money. They buy stock in their own companies with the money. And that's basically what they do with the money. So don't be fooled by rich people saying that the government, and I myself, I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I don't even understand why anybody who's actually not a politician would consider themselves a Democrat or a Republican. I think most of us are independent. I think it is important that you vote. I know a lot of people say, your vote doesn't doesn't matter. But if it didn't, they wouldn't be trying so hard to get it. If your vote didn't matter, these guys wouldn't be campaigning so hard. They spend billions of dollars just slinging mud at each other in these campaigns. They're trying very hard to get these votes. So that is what should lead you to believe that it does matter. Voting does matter. But this guy, this billionaire, demanding that the government tells him all the places they spend their money is, to me, that's a joke. That is funny. So the government, they're going to, like I said before, they're going to do the bidding of their donors. All politicians, but the government, they spend their money however they want, basically, or our money. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these bills that they're passing, they don't do us any good. But they're going to do whatever they feel they want to do, and basically what they're doing is trying to get your votes. That's what they're doing, and lying. So a lot of what they're doing is lying, and some of what they're doing is trying to get votes. But this guy, Jamie Dimon, is a billionaire and a CEO of a bank, is demanding that the government tells him how they're spending the money, which is, even being a billionaire, that's not going to happen. They're not going to keep track of all the dollars, because if you knew exactly where all the tax-paying dollars went to, you'd be pissed off. There wouldn't be a whole hell of a lot you could do about it, but you'd be pissed off. So that is why, even if you're a billionaire and you make demands of the government to show you or let you know where they're spending the money, they're not going to do that. And they're probably just sitting there thinking, who the hell are you, Jamie Dimon? I know you're a rich CEO who's probably donated $1 billion to one campaign or another to buy off a politician to do whatever you want them to do. But yeah, they're not going to keep track of all the money they spend and tell you or anybody else where it's going. But I don't think that's the biggest problem we have in America right now. To me, the biggest problem we have is not government conspiracies or it's conspiracies, period. Because like I said, I used to make fun of people that were conspiracy theorists. I got a cousin who shall remain nameless who used to tell me different conspiracies, here and there, and I thought it was a big joke. I used to laugh at him and make fun of the conspiracies because none of them comes true. He would say this is going to happen at a certain time, and when it didn't happen, he would only move on to the next conspiracy. So for me, the sanity of America and the world is what you need to pay attention to. Mark my words. Those of you who are still 100% sane, like myself, you're going to start to see people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, the congresswoman who is a nut job, who is complaining that the wildfires in California are due to Jewish lasers, is what she said. The wildfires are due to. So some of you are going to hear this and say, well, he's an idiot. He doesn't understand that the wildfires are because of Jewish lasers. And some of you are probably going to hear this and laugh because it's completely ridiculous and only a person who's not 100%